You've been lied to your entire life. They told you to be kind, to be nice, to treat everyone with respect. They told you it makes you a good person. But here's what they didn't tell you. Niceness is weakness disguised as virtue. You give respect freely. You smile at people who don't deserve it. You bend over backwards for those who wouldn't cross the street for you. And what do you get in return? Disrespect, manipulation, betrayal. You're not being noble. You're being naive. Machiavelli understood something most people refuse to accept. Respect is not a gift, it's a currency, and you've been giving it away for free. Every time you're nice to someone who walks over you, you're teaching them that you have no boundaries. You're signaling that you're harmless. And in this world, harmless means powerless. Stop treating respect like charity. Start treating it like investment. Only give it where it generates return. The moment you understand this, everything changes. You stop being the person everyone uses. You become the person everyone respects. Drop a comment right now. I choose power over politeness. Let me know you're ready to stop the bleeding. You were raised on fairy tales. Be the bigger person. Turn the other cheek. Treat others how you want to be treated. Beautiful ideas, completely useless in reality. Because while you're playing by those rules, everyone else is playing a different game. They see your kindness and they exploit it. They see your respect and they take advantage. You think you're building bridges. You're actually building a reputation as someone who can be walked over. Machiavelli wrote that it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Know why? Because love without respect is manipulation waiting to happen. When you give respect unconditionally, you remove all consequences for bad behavior. You become predictable, controllable, weak. Look around you. The people who succeed aren't the nicest. They're the most strategic. They don't waste energy on those who drain them. They don't smile at enemies pretending to be friends. They observe. They calculate. They respond accordingly. This isn't cruelty. This is clarity. Understanding that your time, your energy, your respect, these are finite resources. And every second you spend on someone unworthy is a second stolen from your own growth. The cold truth? Most people don't deserve your respect. They haven't earned it. They haven't proven themselves. They simply exist in your proximity and expect you to bow. Stop bowing. Respect is earned through action, through loyalty, through mutual value. Anything less is you volunteering to be used. You want to know the difference between powerful people and powerless people? Powerful people are selective. They guard their respect like gold. Powerless people give it away like flyers on a street corner. Which one are you? Comment below. My respect is reserved for the worthy. Let me tell you what happens when you're too nice. You become invisible, not loved, not respected, invisible. Because niceness without boundaries is just background noise. People stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a resource, a favor dispenser, an emotional dumping ground, someone they can call when they need something and ignore when they don't. You think you're being compassionate. You're actually being consumed. Here's the dark psychology behind it. Humans don't value what comes easy. We're wired to chase what challenges us, to respect what resists us. When you're always available, always agreeable, always nice, you become worthless in their eyes, not because you are worthless, but because you've trained them to see you that way. Machiavelli understood human nature at its core. He knew that people respect strength, not sweetness. They remember those who set boundaries, not those who erase them. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you're teaching people that your boundaries don't matter. Every time you forgive without accountability, you're giving permission for repetition, and here's what really destroys you: the resentment. Because deep down, you know you're being used, you feel it. That burning anger when they take and never give back, when they disrespect you and you smile through it. That's not kindness. That's cowardice dressed up as virtue. The price of being too nice is your self-respect, your time, your mental peace, and eventually, your entire identity. You become someone even you don't recognize. A doormat with a pulse. Stop paying that price. Start charging interest. Comment this if you're done being used. I value myself too much to be anyone's option. Now we go deeper. Respect isn't just something you withhold. It's a weapon you wield. Machiavelli taught that a prince must know when to be a lion and when to be a fox. The lion uses force. The fox uses cunning. But both demand respect through power, not through begging. When you understand respect as a tool, everything shifts. You stop handing it out hoping people will like you. You start deploying it strategically to shape how people treat you. Watch what happens when you withdraw respect from someone who's been taking you for granted. Suddenly, they notice. Suddenly, you matter. They start questioning. They start chasing. Because humans are competitive creatures. We want what we can't have. We value what we might lose. This is dark psychology at its finest. When you're too nice, you signal low value. You're abundant, available, easy. But the moment you become selective, scarce, unreachable, your value skyrockets. People who ignored you start paying attention. People who disrespected you start watching their words. Not because you changed who you are, but because you changed how you're perceived. Here's the cold truth most will never accept. People don't respond to your goodness. They respond to your power. Your ability to say no, your willingness to walk away, your refusal to tolerate disrespect. That's what earns respect. Not your kindness, not your patience, your strength. Machiavelli wrote that men judge by appearances and results, not by intentions. Nobody cares how good your heart is if you're constantly being stepped on. They only respect what you project. So project strength, project standards, project consequence. Be the person who people think twice before crossing. Not because you're cruel, but because you're no longer available for misuse. Drop this in the comments. I am selective with my respect and ruthless with my boundaries. Let me paint you a picture. There's a man who prides himself on being nice. He helps everyone. He forgives everything. He never says no. He thinks this makes him strong, noble, admirable. But look closer. His friends call him only when they need something. His family takes him for granted. His colleagues dump their work on him. Women see him as safe, never exciting. Men see him as soft, never threatening. He's surrounded by people but completely alone because nobody actually respects him. They use him, and deep down, he knows it. But he can't stop. Because his entire identity is built on being needed, on being the good guy, on avoiding conflict at all costs. This is the anatomy of a weak man. Not weak because he lacks strength, weak because he refuses to use it. He's been conditioned to believe that setting boundaries is selfish, that saying no is mean, that demanding respect is arrogant. So he suffers in silence. He smiles through the pain. He convinces himself that one day people will appreciate his sacrifice. They won't. They never do. Because sacrifice without respect is just slavery with better marketing. Machiavelli warned against this exact trap. He said it's dangerous to be good in a world that isn't. When you're the only one playing fair, you don't win. You get destroyed. The weak man thinks his niceness will inspire others to be nice back. It doesn't. It inspires them to take more, to push harder, to see how far they can go before he finally breaks. And here's the cruelest part. When he does break, when he finally stands up for himself, people get offended. They call him changed, bitter, toxic, because they liked him better when he was their doormat. This is your wake-up call. If you see yourself in this man, understand something. You are not trapped. You are simply choosing comfort over respect, choosing acceptance over authenticity, choosing to be liked over being valued. That choice is killing you slowly. Stop making it. Comment if you refuse to be this man. I'd rather stand alone with respect than surrounded by users. Here's what they don't teach you. Coldness is not cruelty, it's clarity. It's the ability to detach emotionally from people who don't serve your growth, to observe without investment, to respond without desperation. Strategic coldness is the most underrated form of power. When you master it, you become untouchable. Let me explain how this works. Most people operate from emotion. They react, they get offended, they seek validation, they need to be liked. This makes them predictable, controllable, easy to manipulate. But when you develop strategic coldness, you step outside that game entirely. You stop reacting to provocations. You stop chasing approval. You stop giving people the emotional responses they're fishing for. And it drives them insane. Because humans are wired for reciprocity. When they push and you don't push back, when they insult and you don't defend, when they disappear and you don't chase, they lose their power over you. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He wrote that appearing warm while staying cold inside is the ultimate advantage. You maintain relationships when useful. You cut them off when necessary. No guilt, no hesitation, pure calculation. This isn't about being heartless. It's about being strategic with your heart, protecting it from those who would exploit it, reserving your warmth for the rare few who've actually earned it. Everyone else gets the professional version of you. Polite but distant, cordial but unmoved, present but unavailable. Watch what happens when you apply this. The The people who took you for granted suddenly want your attention. The ones who disrespected you suddenly respect your space. The energy vampires find new victims because you're no longer feeding them. You become magnetic precisely because you're no longer desperate. Strategic coldness creates mystery. It creates value. It forces people to work for your warmth instead of assuming they deserve it. And here's the beautiful part. You'll feel lighter. Because you're no longer carrying the weight of everyone else's problems. You're no longer bleeding empathy for people who feel nothing for you. You're protecting your energy like the sacred resource it is, only investing it where it multiplies. This is how powerful men operate. They're not cold because they're broken. They're cold because they're selective. Because they understand that warmth given to everyone is warmth wasted on most. Master this and you master people. Not through force, but through absence. Not through anger, but through indifference. The less you need from them, the more they need from you. Comment this truth. My coldness is not cruelty, it's self-preservation. Listen carefully to this law. It will change how you move through the world. Stop absorbing how people treat you. Start mirroring it. If someone disrespects you, mirror that energy back. If someone is cold to you, match their temperature. If someone is loyal to you, reward that loyalty tenfold. This is the law of reciprocity, and it's how you stop being a victim and start being a force. Most people absorb negativity like sponges. Someone treats them badly, and they internalize it. They question themselves. They wonder what they did wrong. They try harder to win that person over. This is exactly backwards. When someone shows you disrespect, they're giving you information. They're telling you exactly how much they value you. Believe them. Don't try to convince them otherwise. Don't prove your worth to people who are blind to it. Simply mirror their energy and move accordingly. Machiavelli's genius was understanding that relationships are power dynamics. When you're always the one giving, apologizing, compromising, you're signaling low status. You're training people to see you as beneath them. But when you mirror, you equalize. Someone ignores your message, you do the same. Someone cancels plans last minute, you become mysteriously busy next time. Someone talks down to you, you withdraw your warmth and become professionally distant. No explanation needed, no emotional outburst required, just cold, calculated reciprocity. Here's the psychological warfare behind this. People expect you to absorb their bad behavior. They expect you to keep trying, keep caring, keep chasing. When you don't, when you simply match their energy, it breaks their entire framework. Suddenly they're confused. They didn't think you had it in you. They underestimated your self-respect. And that confusion becomes respect. Because mirroring proves you have options. It proves you're not desperate. It proves you value yourself enough to walk away from anyone who doesn't value you. This doesn't make you petty. It makes you precise. You're not playing games. You're refusing to play alone. You're demanding that relationships be mutual, or they don't exist at all. The weak man absorbs punishment and asks for more. The strong man mirrors it back and watches people correct themselves or exit his life. Either outcome is a win, because you're no longer tolerating one-sided dynamics. You're enforcing balance through action, not words. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't respect you. Just show them what reciprocity looks like. Watch how fast they either level up or disappear. Both are blessings. Comment if you understand this law. I mirror energy. I don't chase it. Your circle determines your ceiling. Read that again. The 5 people you spend the most time with are either elevating you or eroding you. There is no neutral. If you're surrounding yourself with takers, complainers, and energy vampires, you're not being kind. You're being stupid. Machiavelli advised princes to choose their advisors carefully because a man is judged by the company he keeps. This isn't just about reputation, it's about contamination. Weak people normalize weakness, victims normalize victimhood, users normalize being used. And if you're not careful, you start believing that's just how life is. It's not. It's just how life is in that circle. Powerful people are ruthlessly selective about who gets access to them. They understand that their time, energy, and mental space are the most valuable assets they possess. They don't let just anyone in. They audit their relationships constantly. Who's adding value? Who's draining it? Who's loyal? Who's opportunistic? Who pushes them forward? Who holds them back? And they make cuts without guilt. Because they understand something most people refuse to accept. Loyalty to the wrong people is betrayal of yourself. You're not obligated to keep people in your life just because they've been there a long time. You're not required to maintain friendships that no longer serve you. You're allowed to outgrow people. You're allowed to prioritize yourself. This is where most people fail. They feel guilty. They make excuses. But we've been friends since childhood. But they're family. But they'll be hurt if I distance myself. Listen to me. Their feelings are not your responsibility. Your growth is. Every hour you spend with someone who drains you is an hour stolen from someone who could inspire you. Every conversation with a victim is a conversation you're not having with a victor. Every moment you waste managing someone else's dysfunction is a moment you're not investing in your own elevation. Start curating your circle like a museum curates art. Only the valuable pieces make it in. Everything else is rejected, no matter how loudly it demands space. Cut the dead weight, block the numbers, delete the contacts, ghost the energy vampires without explanation. You don't owe anyone access to you. You don't owe anyone your presence. Your inner circle should be small, powerful, and absolutely loyal. Everyone else can admire you from a distance or disappear entirely. Build your circle of power or stay trapped in a circle of weakness. The choice has always been yours. Comment this declaration. I protect my circle like I protect my mind, ruthlessly. Now we arrive at the final truth. Becoming untouchable isn't about building walls. It's about building worth. It's about reaching a level of self-respect so absolute that disrespect simply bounces off you. You don't react to it. You don't internalize it. You just observe it, classify the person as irrelevant, and continue forward. This is the final transformation. When you stop needing validation from others, you become dangerous. When you stop fearing isolation, you become free. When you stop giving respect to those who haven't earned it, you become untouchable. Machiavelli's ultimate lesson was this. The prince who depends on others for his power will always be vulnerable. But the prince who builds power from within becomes unshakable. Most people are prisoners of opinion. They shape themselves based on what others think. They dim their light to make others comfortable. They compromise their standards to maintain relationships that drain them. They live in constant fear of judgment, rejection, abandonment. This fear makes them controllable. But you're different now. You've seen through the lies. You understand that respect is earned, not given. That your energy is precious, not unlimited. That being selective isn't being cruel, it's being smart. You've learned to mirror instead of absorb, to withdraw instead of chase, to value yourself more than any relationship that diminishes you. This transformation isn't comfortable. People will call you cold, changed, arrogant, difficult. Let them. Those accusations are just proof that you're no longer easy to use. The version of you that everyone loved was the version that had no boundaries, the version that said yes to everything, the version that absorbed their disrespect with a smile. That version is dead, and you killed it on purpose. What rises in its place is something far more powerful, a man who knows his value and refuses to negotiate it, a man who walks alone rather than in bad company, a man who gives respect only where it's reciprocated and withdraws it the moment it's violated. This is what untouchable looks like. Not arrogance, not cruelty, just unshakable self-worth. You become the type of person people either respect or avoid. There is no in-between, no lukewarm relationships, no half-hearted friendships, just clear boundaries and absolute standards. This is your final form. The version of you that cannot be manipulated, cannot be guilt-tripped, cannot be used. The version that understands power isn't taken, it's claimed through self-respect. You are no longer nice to people who don't deserve it. You are strategic, selective, and completely untouchable. Comment your transformation. I am no longer available for disrespect. This is who you are now. Someone who understands that respect is currency, not charity. Someone who mirrors energy instead of absorbing it. Someone who protects their circle like they protect their sanity. You're no longer the person who bends for everyone. You're the person people adjust themselves around. The shift has already begun. Every boundary you set from this moment forward is a declaration of your worth. Every person you cut off is space created for someone better. Every time you choose yourself over people-pleasing, you become more powerful. Machiavelli's cold truth isn't cruel. It's clarifying. It's the permission you've been waiting for to stop exhausting yourself for people who wouldn't cross the street for you. Stop being nice to people who don't deserve it. Start being intentional with people who do. Your respect is earned now, not assumed. Your energy is reserved, not freely given. Your presence is a privilege, not a right. If this resonated with you, do 3 things right now. Hit that like button, subscribe to Machiavellian Mind, and turn on notifications so you never miss the cold truths that will keep you untouchable. Drop one final comment. I respect myself too much to tolerate disrespect. Welcome to your new reality. You're untouchable now.